Hi everybody in the VC or music community, vinyl community, music community. This is Bev at ClarkOvision, and this is going to be sort of update video basically. I'm going to show a couple of different things that I've picked up as well, and just a bit of me blethering about stuff as well probably. Over the past couple of weeks I've added a few things to my collection, mostly CDs I have to say, but there's a couple of 7-inch records and a long player LP record that I've got as well, and a couple of other music related things I'm just going to mention. So I kind of feel I've been meaning to do videos for a while, kind of a few days back, a week or so back. In fact, even at the weekend there I wanted to get something up, but I kind of thought, I'll just wait, I'll probably get some more stuff coming in. So I've got enough stuff now to the point where I thought I need to get this done or it's going to start annoying me, so I can get it all catalogued and put away. So I'm just going to get right into it just now. So what I'll show first is I'll do the two 7-inch singles first. So this, I already have this, but I've been on the lookout for a better copy, not so much the record but the sleeve, which is, it's the 7-inch of Def Leppard Rock of Ages. This is just quite a thin, flimsy paper sleeve, this one. And every time I've tried to find a copy, there's been a seam split somewhere. However, this one showed up on eBay and the seller said it was in near mint condition. And I emailed and I says, I just want to check there's no seam splits or wear on the edges. And he came back and says, no, it's all, you'll be pleased with us. So I went for it. Cost me £6 delivered. And right enough, there's no splits at all, and it's in excellent condition, I have to say. There's no scuffs or bends or anything like that. And the record itself is, again, it's the plain silver Vertigo label there, but the record itself is in excellent condition as well. So finally got that added to my collection in a satisfactory condition. The other one's pretty good as well, but there is a split down the side which was annoying me, just because of them being my Steve Clark stuff basically. And I decided as well I wanted to put all my Def Leppard, my Steve Clark stuff. I thought I'm going to try these Blake sleeves that I've heard people talk about. There's videos about them on the internet as well, on YouTube. And I saw this guy on eBay who was selling them again, and they were at quite a decent price. I was quite surprised. I'd also looked at some other websites that sell them, but this guy seemed to have slightly better price, and so I ordered 50 12-inch LP size, and you go 100 in the 7-inch size. So here's the one of the 7-inch sizes, because I'm about to put this into it. And they're glass clear, and the strip, the sticky is on this part, not the flap, which is good when you're trying to put a record in or out. So I've put all my other stuff, my Def Leppard stuff, in already, and I'll just put this one in. And it's a very good fit as well. There's basically hardly any excess. You only get excess for the most part on 12-inch singles. The albums are pretty good, but you can see on, well, I don't know if you can see on that one, but it's very close to the edges. There's hardly any. Obviously that will stick down when I move the thing off, but it keeps them nice and makes them look lovely. So got the Blake sleeves, basically for that kind of stuff, my kind of grail stuff that I want to keep in lovely condition. So the other 7-inch just came in today, and it came in from Malta actually. of all places. But it's a kind of a grail. I've been after this for a while as well, and it's a Japanese 7-inch of Love Bites and Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's kind of like a double A side, because you take the record out and they're both marked as side 1. So I'm guessing it's like, but this is the version that was for sale to the public. I do have the exact same in the promotional white label version, which has got a different cover sleeve as well. I have this on CD as well. I have the 3-inch CD single of this exact Japanese pressing as well. So Nippon phonogram, and again with the Japanese pressings, this is in lovely condition. There's just a slight crease at the top there, but I'm not too bothered because it's pretty much perfect. You get the lyrics in English, and it's a little bit of Japanese about the album down here. So, and the record itself, it's Mercury phonogram, made in Japan. So you've got one here above the stereo, and you've also got one here above the stereo. So I'm calling it a double A side. But just to get that one, I think that takes me up to about 12 different versions of Love Bites that I've got now. So, a couple of goodies there. That's a bit of paper, bear with me. Just filled inside. So I'm going to need this bit of paper shortly. So, next thing I discovered this chap. I don't know a lot about him. His real name is, what is his real name? Bear with me. It tells you in the start of the book. It's a book. Introduction. His real name when he was born is Stephen George Roberts. And he was born in Lancashire, England. And he's now known as Stevie Z Suicide. And this is his Rock and Roll Chronicles book. Now, this chap used to be in a UK punk band as a drummer. And the band was called UK Subs. And he's done a couple of, I think he's worked with Cyanide before UK Subs. And he's worked in the music industry, and I think he does some solo stuff now, or he has done solo stuff as well. So this is his Rock and Roll Chronicles, and it's a book that tells you about some of his life and growing up in the music industry and some of the big names he's come into contact with. Now, the reason I have this is, you probably know what I'm going to say next. If I just go to the contents, can't even find the contents here. Bear with me again. In fact, there's the contents, right? Yeah. So it basically tells you. He tells you about his experience meeting all these different names in the music business, and you have Paul McCartney. There's punk stuff. Elton John. Spiders from Mars, the Rolling Stones, Tina Turner, Phil Collins, Kiss, AC/DC, The Damned, and specifically for me, Def Leppard. But it's not just Def Leppard, it's specifically Steve Clark. There was a time when he kind of got a bit pally with Steve Clark when they were both living in London's Chelsea area. They kind of hung out a bit together and chatted music and stuff, as you do. But it was kind of like in the latter part of Steve's life, it was kind of not too long before he died, I think, actually. So he talks a bit about Steve and his experience of hanging out with them, and Steve Clark actually gave this chap a Gibson guitar. It was one of the Gibson double necks, the 18-string EDS 1275s. Steve just gave it to him. But Steve Clark's actually done it with one or two folk. He was such a nice chap. So that's the main reason I got that book, but I'm kind of looking forward to just reading about his experiences with all these guys. I mean, Freddie Mercury, there's about Barcelona, there's a chapter that's about Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé. As far as this guy's music goes, I'm not familiar with it, but it possibly won't really excite me because I'm not really into the punk side of things. But so I got that to read, picked it up off eBay. Sorry, not eBay, Amazon, I do beg your pardon. And I'm just going to show you the vinyl record. I picked this up. I decided it was Brendan Van D that made me finally go out and pull the trigger. I was humming and hawing about this for a few weeks. I thought, will it or won't it? Because I'd sampled one of the songs when they put it up on YouTube. And I really liked the sound of it. I thought it was a great song. And then Brendan Van D happened to have it shown in one of his videos when I was watching his channel, and I put a comment down about it, and he replied saying it's fantastic. So that was it. I went and ordered it, and it is Avantasia. Tobias Sammet's Avantasia. He's had this project on the go for a few years now, and this is their latest one, Moonglow. It was just released in February, and it is absolutely fantastic. Brendan wasn't kidding. It's brilliant. It's really good stuff. It's a double album in the gatefold. Very interesting image. This is I think this is kind of like old Victorian time London or something like that, because it's like an old style. There's a policeman in an old style uniform there that kind of looks like the big rounded hats that they used to wear. That's Tobias Sammet up here outside an English pub. Now you have a bunch of guest singers on here. That was the other thing that it was interesting for me, is most of the singers I kind of know of, but there's one or two or not. Well, you've got Tobias Sammet himself, you've got Hansi Kirsch, Blind Guardian, so I know he's a great singer. You've got Ronnie Atkins, Pretty Maids, fantastic. Jorn Land, he used to be in The Devil is the name of the band that he kind of established a while back. But it was a power metal band, and he's now does his own solo work, Jorn, and he's worked with other people as well. So there's him. Millie Petrosa. I wasn't familiar with this guy, so I went and checked him out, and he is it creator? It might not be creator. Hang on, I wrote this down. Hold on. Yeah, Millie Petrosa. He is in Creator and Master Plan. That was the name of the band that Jorn Land was in. So you've got Millie Petrosa from Creator. You've got Candice Knight, and she apparently, I did a bit of Googling on her as well. She's apparently married to Richie Blackmore and is part of Blackmore's Night, which is the two of them do a thing. More on that later. You've got Jeff Tate, ex-Queensryche, Bob Catley, Magnum, and the awesome Michael Kiske, Halloween, Unisonic, and all sorts of brilliance. I know he's been in other things as well. So you've got all these guest vocalists, and you've got a plethora of musicians and backing vocalists. you've got this Michael Rodenberg here. He is responsible for the orchestration and keyboards because a lot of it is kind of orchestral in places. So this is definitely symphonic power metal. The artwork is pretty cool. And it's Nuclear Blast. It says it's limited edition black, strictly limited in black. So I don't know how many were actually issued. But I know there's a new pressing just coming out, or is about to come out, and it's coloured splatter vinyl. But that was about £4 dearer, and when I saw this was on Amazon, priced at just $19.99, I thought I'll just take the black vinyl. That really is fine by me. So inside you get this, you get a lyric sheet as well. It's got sides 1 and 2 on this side, and sides 3 and 4 are on this side, and they do a cover of the song Maniac by who was it that did that? By 1983. You'll know the song She's a Maniac, Maniac, that song. I just can't think of the band name, it doesn't state it here, but anyway, even that's pretty cool. And both the vinyls are, I keep saying vinyls, that's not a word, there is no plural on it. Vinyl are both just plain black, as I said, but they have their custom label, so they're both like that. And I don't think it's 180, but it's more like kind of 150 or 120, something like that. Still fairly thick, but it's not just quite as weighty and as solid. So kind of similar in a way to maybe some Blind Guardians. As I say, I'm just getting into them as well, but it's every vocalist on here, they all fit in really well. They're all great vocalists, and I was pleased that Ronnie Atkins was on here actually as well. Did I mention Eric Martin? He was from Mr. Big. Yeah, Eric Martin's on here as well from Mr. Big, as well as Bob Catley of Magnum. And you can tell all their voices, but they all just work great. And this Candice Knight, this lady, she's got a lovely voice as well. So, if you're into a bit of power, symphonic, melodic, it's got a bit of everything. It's just really very well put together piece of music. This, highly recommend it. So that is on the vinyl. Now if I just put the vinyl to one side here, I'll leave that there at the moment. I'll just get showing you the CDs, which is what I have the most of. I'll start with the newly bought ones. This one here is the first one I picked up, and this is Niccolo Paganini. Yes, Niccolo Paganini. He is from the Romantic classical period, and he was famous for, he was a violinist. He also played the viola and the guitar and composed all these amazing classical pieces. And the reason I decided to pick this one up was because this is a collection of works for guitar. It's all Paganini's work played on the classical guitar by this, it's like Guido Fitchner. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. He's the chap that plays it on the CD, and it was recorded in Austria. And it's on the Dynamic label, which is an Italian label, and like Frontiers, the Italian labels seem to have this kind of hologrammed sticker. So yeah, getting back to Paganini, Rob at Black Star Vinyl showed his Yngwie Malmsteen Blue Lightning, and I also saw DJ High Noon show it recently. And it just got me thinking about Yngwie Malmsteen, and then on Facebook I was reading something about him that one of the guitar magazines put up about guitarists he admires, and it turns out one of his main influences actually is this Niccolo Paganini, because I know Yngwie is very classical influenced. So I thought, okay, that's another name I've not really checked out. So I just went and browsed Amazon, saw this, and thought that'll do if it's, because I like the classical guitar as well, as something a wee bit different. So, thanks to Yngwie, I have picked up one of his influences in Niccolo Paganini. Moving on to one of my new favourite bands, I added to my collection, picked up Running Wild. This is Blazing Stone. This is 1991. This originally came out, this was after their amazing Death or Glory album, and this is really good as well. It's excellent. I really enjoyed this. Again, it's the deluxe expanded edition, so you have a couple of bonus tracks on here, and it's remastered, the 2017 one. A single CD press, and you get the booklet in here as well. And again, you get like a interview from. This interview was obviously conducted at the time these remasters were being reissued in 2017, because the interview was conducted in November 2016 by Malcolm Dome. And so yeah, you've got that to read. You also get some of the classic memorabilia from the time, magazine covers and singles, etc. And so, yep, Blazing Stone, another little gem. And I also went to get the following on album. This was 1992. This is Pile of Skulls. Again, it's the 2017 Deluxe Expanded Edition. This one is a double disc version. You get 2 discs, and on disc 2 you get 6 bonus tracks included on this one. Again, these all are nicely finished in a matte, so you don't get as much of a glare, but that's the album, and this one is the bonus track disc. And again, you get another booklet, just very similar to the previous one. And again, more of the interview in this one. Kept the hype sticker that came on the shrink. Interestingly enough, I think it was Blazing Stone didn't have a hype sticker on the shrink, it was just plain shrink. There was a bit, it must be in Blazing Stone actually, which I thought was kind of cool. At the start of the interview, Rockin' Wolf, who is basically running wild, he was something interesting to say, because you know how Running Wild are branded the kings of pirate metal. Well, yeah, it starts off and it says, it's interesting to recognise the slight irony in the fact that Blazing Stone, Running Wild's 6th studio album, released in 1991, is regarded as a pirate metal classic. Ironic because, and Rockin' Wolf goes on to explain, there are no songs on that album about pirates. He laughs. Seriously, I never felt that I had to be restricted to writing about pirate subjects, so there are literally no tracks here which deal with them. So, just for information purposes, it's not purely pirates, but you know, they obviously got their pirate metal label from Under Jolly Roger and Port Royal, you know, kind of pirate-based albums. But I thought that was kind of interesting myself. Next up, I grabbed Masquerade because there was a couple of these at really good prices on Amazon, so it's £6, £7, £8 they were kind of hovering around that, so picked up Masquerade as well. This one's a little bit later. I think this was it 1995? Again, it's the Deluxe Expanded Digipack. And again, that's the inside. Just a single disc again, but you do get bonus. You get a couple of bonus tracks on here. And in this one, it's not the standard booklet format. It's like, I think under Jolly Roger opens out like this, but it opens out kind of this way for some reason, and you get, there's the interview part. On this side it's just like a mini poster, and you've got the song credits and album credits there. And again, brilliant stuff, really cool. And next of my new ones, this is kind of cool. Can you see this one? This is a kind of glossy finish. It's Running Wild again, and it's Shadow Maker. Now this is a limited edition. It's a CD plus DVD. This is a more recent one. This is 2012. This album came out, and at this point they had moved on to SPV Steamhammer. Well, Steamhammer, division of SPV it says. So this is a limited edition because you get the bonus DVD, which contains the making of Shadow Maker and a track-by-track commentary from Rock and Rolf, which tells you on the back. And the CD is the album, but it's also a special edition in that it comes in this shadowy black jewel case. I've never seen anything like it before. It's all black all the way around. So inside you have the CD here, again the inside bit's black, and the booklet, and it does open up, but I've got to watch here because I've already opened it, and for some reason the DVD doesn't seem to hold in the teeth. It kind of falls out quite easily, but there's the DVD, and you can see it's all just shiny black. So I think the jewel case is kind of cool. So I'm going to have to actually, there's a little broken piece. One of the teeth's just broken off there. So I'm going to have to see if I can find, I might have an old jewel inner that I could maybe switch that with. I need to dig out some of my old cases and see if I can fix this so that it'll hold. At the moment we shall just close it back up. So yeah, and it obviously comes in this nice glossy slipcase, booklet, and inside it basically just got song lyrics and some cool artwork. That song's called Locomotive, so you've got a nice steam engine there, pretty cool. All sorts of things. Shadow Maker, there's that shadowy looking figure. And what the devil's that? Dracula, I guess that must be Dracula there. So I haven't heard anything off of this album from Running Wild at all, not even a snippet. So yeah. So that is 4 new Running Wild CDs there. Finally, the last of my new CDs is this one I decided to pick up. This is Kiske or Kiske, I'm not sure how his name's pronounced, but I kind of go Kiske, Michael Kiske and Amanda Somerville. So Kiske Somerville, and it's City of Heroes, this album. I was doing some sampling on YouTube and stumbled across this and liked what I heard. So I decided to pick this up. Now, this is on Frontiers Records, This came out in 2015, so Michael Kiske and this Amanda Somerville have got together and done this album. They both sing on it, and these other people are the band that make up the rest of the musicians, obviously. So yeah, I'm not familiar with Amanda Somerville. I've still to do some googling on her. I'm not too familiar with the other people either, but open it up, and this again, it's got a CD and a DVD. The DVD contains making of the album, and you've got a video clip for 2 of the tracks, so there's 2 videos and the making of. So, and it's one of these ones where the booklet sits in here, which is kind of nice. City of Heroes, yeah. So, and so yeah, there's the man himself. I liked him with his long blonde hair, I have to confess. But, you know, he's grown up, got older, at least doesn't look as daft as some other singers I could mention, but I won't. And there is Amanda Somerville there, and most of these songs were written by Matt Sinner and Magnus Carlsson. I think that's either Matt or Mark, I'm not sure who. There is the band, a whole lot of them there, and that sort of picture. Now, interesting enough, it's the lady that's on the drums here as well. I'll just tell you what her name is in a minute. Here's the guitar player. So, there she is, the drummer. So, just briefly, lead and backing vocals Michael Kiske, lead and backing vocals Amanda Somerville, bass and backing vocals Matt Sinner, guitar and keyboards Magnus Carlsson, drums Veronica Luxova. Never heard of her, so I don't know who she plays with. But yeah, this is really cool. Melodic power metal kind of stuff again. So I'm looking forward to giving the whole of this a listen. So that was the new stuff, and some second-hand stuff I picked up. This is a bit of a grail actually as well. I spotted this on eBay and pounced. I am hunting down an original vinyl, but this is the original CD first press of Port Royal from Running Wild, and this one doesn't even have a barcode on it for some reason. It's 1988, but it's in fantastic condition. It is the original CD from 1988, so I was chuffed to get that. The same seller also had this one. This is the original of Pile of Skulls, which I've just showed the digipack. This is the original from 1992. Again, fantastic. CDs, this one's got a kind of a picture disc. And the same seller had this, and he only wanted £4 for it, and I thought, I'm just going to grab that. £4, fair enough, it's more than what I paid for the other ones of this band. I thought I'll get it anyway, and it can go into my my kind of Megadeth study review thing that I'm doing, and it's Megadeth original press of The System Has Failed. You can see it's got the original hype sticker saying new album, includes Die Dead Enough, Blackmail the Universe and Kick the Chair. Now, I love the artwork on this album. I think it's fantastic, because when some of you guys had recently shown your reissue of the vinyl that had just come out, I'm like, I really think that's cool artwork, and I do. It's fantastic. So, and I thought, right, well, I'll just add this on to the other two that I'm reviewing, which is Peace Sells and also Rust in Peace. So I'll put this one on at the back, give it a listen. This is a newer one. This is 2004. Yeah. So And there's the CD itself. So I've got these three for the same seller. And the last one, God, this video's getting long, sorry about that. The last CD that I've got to show you now is second-hand again. I think this is an original, because it's 1999, and it is Blackmore's Night, and it's Under a Violet Moon is the title of the album. Now, I mentioned Blackmore's Night briefly when showing the Avantasia album, because Candice Night is the female who sings on that album, and she's the one married to Richie Blackmore. So this is Candice Night and Richie Blackmore's their thing, project, whatever you want to call it. Produced by Richie Blackmore and Roy MacDonald, except a couple of tracks, Richie Blackmore and Jeff Glixman. There are 16 tracks in total on this. Now, this is not heavy metal, this is not hard rock, it comes under folk rock actually. And I had a listen, I sampled a couple of these on YouTube as well. And yeah, it's kind of folky rock. It's not what you'd expect for Richie Blackmore for sure anyway, but again, this Candice Night, she's got an amazing voice. You've got lyrics and stuff in here. There is the duo there, Richie and Candice. And I've not really got much of a clue about Candice Night at all. But yeah, I liked what I heard on this because, you know, a bit of folky rock. I mean, it's guitars, you know. And the artwork on this is quite cool actually as well. I'm not sure, I haven't figured out who is the artist yet, but so that's that, Blackmore's Night from 1999. I have another Blackmore's Night coming, but it's coming from that Monmox or Momox, the German company that's like Music Magpie. So I've got another one of these coming. So I've got loads of stuff to enjoy at the moment. Far too much, actually. But I wanted to get this out of the way. If you're still here on 37 minutes, thank you for putting up with my dulcet tone and my ramblings. I do appreciate it. And I just want to say also, if you're a fairly new subscriber to my channel, I know there's been a few people subscribing recently, I just want to thank you very much. I really appreciate that, so thanks for supporting the channel and just putting up with my babbling, because that's kind of what I do. So, but anyway, I'll get going just now and I'll see you guys in another video, and have a good evening. Bye!